every grandkid should have a hot rod mower. Alright, hi everybody. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers and grandmothers and fathers for that matter. Alright, so we left off mounting the body, mounting the seat. I decided to go with this panel because that other panel I had on there, I couldn't remove it without taking this thing all apart. And I'm trying to build this so that all on bolts in case you have to work on anything. Alright, I'm using the original seat for another factor. Let me go grab it. The battery will fit right in there. Walk back over here, sorry about that. So I'll be able to use the battery in that location. Like I said, the seat's adjustable. So, we're working on the fenders. Alright, so I haven't bought anything for this thing yet. I'm trying to use stuff that I have around here or that was originally on this tractor. So I started off making some fenders and I wanted to dress it up a little bit. So I'm going to probably go with the aluminum. Let me know what you think about that. And let me know what you think about the body and the seat right now. And the base. My question is for you guys. Do I leave that fender wide? Or do I... Obviously I got to cut this because it's close. Well, or should I carry this width all the way up? And let me set up the tripod and I'll show you how I mounted that aluminum diamond plate. Hang on one second. Okay, so basically, like everything else, I made a pattern of that. Trace it onto the diamond plate, and I'm eventually gonna, if I stick with this, I'm gonna probably rivet this down. For now, for a couple screws. Actually, I have the perfect place for it. Let me put it, move me back over here. Put a couple screws in it for now. Alright, so I'll end up riveting that on. It's basically the metal is to support it. Besides that, I didn't have enough metal to make it look good. So, what do you think about how that looks from behind? Not too bad, huh? I gotta clean this up a little bit, straighten it out. But yeah, so the question is, before I cut this, I'm gonna leave that up to you guys. Should I leave it wide, cut it back halfway, or match this? I could also put rubber. I anticipate putting some kind of rubber in there. Alright, so the other thing I'm going to work on, now that I can put the battery under the seat, kind of in its original location, I'll just have to run a power and a ground to the front. Power to the solenoid, and I'll run the ground all the way to the front to the motor where this is. So I'm going to have to take this gas tank off, clean this wiring up a little bit, and get that out of the way. Then we can start on the grill. So let's get the tank out. Guys, please leave a comment. Like I said, what do you think I should do on that, on them fenders? Leave them wide, cut them so they're a little bit more uniform, or leave them. Alright, so let's get the gas tank out. We'll mount that solenoid, we'll run the wiring, and see where it goes from there. Then we can start on the next big part, which is going to be the grill. Alright, so let me get some tools out. It's looking pretty bleak out here, and worse than that, my memory card says I'm almost full and I don't have another memory card. Alright, so parts of this I'll be recording, the important parts I will. The other stuff, cutting, splicing, I'll explain what I'm doing, but I'm not going to film every bit of this. Another thing, I don't know when this video is going to be out, but there might be a little bit of lag in between videos. I've been real busy, so trying to find time to work on this and do what I got to do has been challenging at times, to say the most, and among other things that are going on. Alright, so I wanted to get that out front. Alright, let me go get some tools. Alright, so I get the wiring harness out. and I'll explain this a little bit better as I go. The only thing that's left is hooked up to ignition switch. I tore this whole thing down just to get access. I'm going to come through the original place down here, down low, and run these down and up through the body to the battery. But right now, we're going to find a place to mount the solenoid, make sure we get a good ground, and from there we can run everything else. Alright, let's find a place to mount the solenoid. So, I think I'm going to mount it right here like this. I'll make a couple marks and I'll make a hole, and I'll show you how I'm going to wire it after that. In the meantime, I'm going to do some shorting some of these wires up. When I come in, I'll explain how this all works, alright? I'm going to try to explain this the best I can. Originally, the starter solenoid and everything were at the back of the tractor. The only thing that was coming up here were the ignition wires and the heavy battery cable to the starter off the solenoid. So what I did was I moved the solenoid over here. I left pretty much everything all alone. There's a yellow wire right here that I left disconnected. That works the safety equipment, the seat, putting it in the clutch in while it's in reverse, the brake, all that stuff, which I'm probably going to hook back up. Alright, then you got an orange and white and orange and black wire that jumped out with that yellow wire to all them switches. So basically what I did was I took that orange and black wire and I put a kill switch on it. Otherwise it'd be live all the time. You got a red wire that goes all the way back to the battery, a small one. That feeds the ignition switch. Then you got your big battery terminal comes all the way over here to the starter solenoid. Off the other side of the starter solenoid to the starter. I ran the battery ground directly from the battery all the way over here to the motor. Now, the starter switch, like I said, that's that orange wire. There's a break in there. It goes on one side of the solenoid that acts like a switch. You can turn the key, but if there's no signal to send the power down towards the starter, it won't work. So that's what the orange wire. There's also a green wire. That's a chassis ground that also works with the safety switches as well. Now you got another blue wire. You got a blue wire, which is right here, blue and green. These work the lights. I'm pretty sure these lights are full-time, daytime running lights. But I'm probably going to change that. I'm still working on lights. I'm looking for a couple little bicycle lights. If anybody's got them, they don't have to work. It's just for looks. I don't even know where you find them things anymore. I do have a couple lights for the back body. So basically I ran the harness down through there. It comes through here and it runs along the chassis and up and in, and it comes up over there. Now you're wondering if it's going to short out on the seat. No, I already checked that. Besides that, I got that cone that's going to go on here. So the wiring's done, battery's in place. We're getting there. The next thing is I really want to use this thing. It's gigantic, as you can see. So I'm gonna hack that all up, cut it all up, and once I got it in a jigsaw puzzle, I'll show you guys what I got. I'm gonna take some measurements. Keep in mind I'm doing away with the muffler there, so I can use this bracket here to mount it. I can use this bracket right here to mount it. The muffler is bolted up through here to there, but the exhaust is going to be another issue. That's going to be the last thing I'm going to do once we get everything laid out where it's supposed to be. Alright, so you guys giving any thought? Should I cut these fenders even with the body all the way across or even wide? And once we get all this stuff worked out, once we get this grill and we got it looking decent, then we got to tear it all apart and do some body work, and I don't know, I'm thinking of doing bed liner in here stuff, and we're gonna paint it up and make it look pretty decent. But yeah guys, I appreciate it. What do you think? Cut this even here, which reminds me I gotta take a notch out of there, or leave them the way they are. This thing, about it's got two bolts over there that bolts down. That's not going anywhere. I think that looks pretty good. I originally thought about lowering this console, but the seat being so high and being the first one, we're not going to do it on this one. I'll probably still do the pulley swap, but definitely going to do another one of these. But The next one's gonna be one belt drive. In other words, one belt runs from the motor back to the rear end. This one here has got a motor. It's got the belt off the motor to a pulley clutch system, and then there's another belt that runs the transmission. That kind of messed me up on this whole deal, but we're definitely going to do another one of these, and we're going to even get it lower. The biggest thing holding me up from getting it lower was them pulleys and the belts. I still don't know if I got clearance on this pedal going across here, this clutch lever. We'll see. I have a thought on how to fix that if I need to bring the belt up a little bit. Alright, anyways, back to this. Let me hack this thing all apart, and we'll see what we got after I once I cut it up, and see what kind of jigsaw puzzle we got to make it work. Alright guys, let me go cut this thing up. Alright, so I cut the grill. It's getting kind of late, so I'm going to call it for tonight, and we'll pick up back on it tomorrow. But there you go, sliced and diced. What do you think? What does everybody think? Hit that like button. No, it's not mounting, it's just sitting there. I think she's looking pretty good. Oh yeah, I like it. Now, once we get this mounted, I got some body work to do, no doubt about it. But I think she come out pretty damn good myself. Alright guys, go ahead and share the video. I don't know what episode this is, 999.3 or 3.6, whatever it is. Please share the video. It's a pretty cool project, if I don't say so myself. We're gonna call it quits for tonight, pick it up tomorrow. We're gonna mount them, put a bracket on the bottom. But yeah, go ahead people, hit that like button. I appreciate you all watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. Alright, forever making changes. It's the next day. You guys seen that I cut this down to make it fit, and I posed a question about the fenders. I'm doing away with the fenders totally. Makes it look a whole lot better, I think. So, but this is what I plan on doing here. Tell me what you think. Get you in closer. Actually, this angle. And I guess comment thinking about it, because I'm probably gonna have this done before this video comes out anyway. So I'm thinking of doing something like that, welding it to here instead of a fender. I think it looks much better. I don't know how you can see it, what angle, but yeah, I'm gonna do that on both sides. Forever changing. Alright, we run into an obstacle, we adapt. Alright, let me get this tacked in there. Actually, I gotta make the other side. Same thing. I took a piece of cardboard, I made my pattern. Actually, I used one of these things right here to find my angle, however I did it. Right? And cut a piece of cardboard, kept cutting and cutting until I got it to fit pretty good. It's not perfect, I got a little bit of grinding to do, but I'm gonna make up the other one, and we're just gonna weld it to here, I guess. Alright, we're getting after it. Then I'm gonna get back on the hood. So I put them things on. They look much better than the fenders. I couldn't just let it dead end there. So they actually stay on with this piece here, so you can take the body off without them interfering. Alright, so the grill is bolted down. I made a piece of angle iron down on the bottom down there, you can see it, and bolted it to where the muffler goes, which brings us to this. Here's the pipe right here. I was originally going to try to cut that little flange off. I want to kind of extend it out like this if I could. So my plan is, I got some pipe. Actually, it's from an old hand truck. I got a few pieces of this. That I'm gonna make my own flange to slide over the pipe. Let me put you guys down. So I'm gonna try and make my own flange right here out of 1/4" steel or something. Then I'll just weld it on here, and excuse me, I got some 90s. I got a couple 90s, a couple 45s. And we'll weld it up and see how it turns out. Alright, so I'm thinking for now, you know, it changes all the time. I'm going to have to knock this a little bit, but come out over the top or out somewhere over here and having an end here, maybe a turnout. So it'll be a 90 and a 90 in, I hope. And maybe like a 22 or something. But that's the plan for the exhaust. And pretty soon we'll be doing some body work on this thing. Nothing major. It's a rat rod, deuce coupe, whatever you want to call it. There's some holes to fill over here, but I definitely think it looks much better that way. I don't have the seat in because I had to take the body off to make some adjustments underneath. I gotta still build something over here. I want to put some kind of lights back here and some kind of lights over here coming over here. They don't have to be working, just for looks wise, more or less. And I got some expanded steel that I could put in the hole for where the grill goes. So we're in pretty good shape. Like I said, once I get the exhaust is the next big hurdle. Once I get through that, then we'll start doing the body work and painting this thing up. And a few other accessories on here. I may have a couple ideas. I might even change this tank and get it down lower. I don't know, we'll see. I got another smaller tank. I have another idea for over here, and actually I got another idea coming off the back, but I'm not gonna say what that is just yet. But actually it'd be a pretty good idea if I could come up with what I want to come up with. All right, so that's it for today. Tomorrow we'll start working on that exhaust, and probably a little bit more welding on the grill. Then we'll do some patching and some bondo. All right, I'll probably do a little bit of the bondo and everything in the next video. Not the next, yeah, well, it could be the next video whenever I do it, but I'm not going to go through the whole thing. I'll go through the basics on it with you, and we'll learn together. I still got some more seam seal to get, but anyways, thanks for watching. And for all you new subscribers, thanks for following Papa Kenny's Workshop. Please hit that like button and leave a comment down below. You got a suggestion, you like to see something else on this, or something that you would change if it was you, leave it in the comment section down below. I appreciate it. It helps me grow the channel. And like I said in the last video, I got plenty of room to build a big old garage up on the hill here, but my wife won't do it until I hit 500 subscribers, and I can't do it by myself. I need your help. So let's get to that 500, people. Thanks for watching. We're gonna see you on the next one. All right, everybody. The end of the last video I showed you I had this grill mounted down, and you can see how I welded that flat stock in there, drill the holes. I still got welding to do. We know that, body work, and that bolts down to here. So the next I'm working on is the exhaust. Here's the original exhaust pipe that went straight down. Okay. So what I did was I cut one of these kind of crude. I made my own flange, and let me show you how that's going to look and what my plan is. All right, so let's put this flange on. I still got a little bit of smoothing out to do to it. It might be just hitting a tad in the back there, but we'll see. Alright, so that fits in there. And let me get you rearranged over here. Put you guys on this side of me. Alright, so this handle I cut off an old hand truck. And my goal is kind of weld that in there like that. Alright, so I'll weld that on, I'll tack this on the flange. I'll take it all apart, okay? That part's done. Then, That's kind of long. I'm going to try and tuck it in over here just to get it out of the body for now. So let me show you without. Hang on there for a minute. I got another pot. So I don't have any more little, I do have a little bend here, but it's not enough. So let me show you a trick. You take a piece of pipe like this and you pie cut it. All right, this is, I'm not probably going to use this, but this is demonstration purposes. I'm glad this jack's here so I can show you. So you take a little pie cut out of it, and you can bend it down. I don't know how well you see that, but you can make any bend you want, kind of like that. You weld it up. So I'm going to build this exhaust piece by piece like that. Right now I'm out of MIG wire. I only have 025. I'm going to try with the 025, but it's kind of small. I got to run out and get some 030, and when I come back we'll start making exhaust for this. How's that sound? Alright, I may tack this in, see how it fits, but the camera won't be close because I don't want the sparks and all that to burn my lens as it's popping off the metal. Alright, let me tack this in and then we'll go get a bigger wire. Alright, let me just tack this in. I got it stuffed in there kind of good. I just want to tack it. Alright, that's good. Because I don't want metal going in there and I don't want to warp this. So I'm going to go get the right wire. Let's take this off. I actually caught the bolt going in there. I hope I can get it out. Alright, so as you can see, I gotta weld this thing all up now. I gotta go get better wire though. I gotta go get some thicker wire. So when I come back, we'll weld her up. Alright, so I got a short 90. This was like kind of top of the handle. You get the picture of the old hand truck. Doesn't really matter. So I just want to get it on the outside of the body for now. And I can turn it or whatever once I get it outside because I want to do something here. So I'm going to lay this on top like this, and I'm going to mark that angle. It don't have to be perfect, and it'll be a little bit bigger because of the angle, but we should be able to weld that in. So I got to cut it off, make sure I don't cut this thing off. Alright, let me cut that off and I'll give you an idea of what I'm doing. Move you guys over here out of the way. I don't want to get any sparks all over you. Alright, even though it goes uphill, you get what I mean? So it gets me out here. I'm not going to, maybe I will tack this up. I might have to give it a little bit more angle or whatever, but you get the general idea. I'm just trying to leave room here. This thing was sticking way out of here, I kept tripping over it. But you get what I'm trying to say, right? Ultimately, we can turn it down and maybe go under. Gotta check the steering. So, alright, so now that we got this exhaust, I'm just gonna tack this on here to keep it there. And then we're gonna work on up here the fenders, the console, tie that grill thingy in over here and see how we can make this look pretty cool. Alright, so let's tack this on and then we'll get on to that other stuff. Just gonna tack it. Alright, so let's get this outside and we can work on the rest of the stuff. And I didn't even check the steering, but yeah, the steering clears. Alright. So let's start working on this front end. I got another little gas tank. I may use, or something else if you guys got another suggestion. I know Rich had a good suggestion with Jack Daniels bottles, but I'm waiting for him to bring it over for a gas tank. Yeah, alright, so let me go get some stuff, meaning, I don't know, objects or whatever, figure out how we're gonna do this. I got some expanded steel here that I'm gonna weld to the inside of this, give it like a grill look. I didn't finish welding this because I may have to raise it up a little bit. So it's only tacked in. I'm gonna finish all this welding once we get the front end done. Alright, let me go get some material. Find it. It's on the side of the house somewhere. I may even use that. I got a couple ideas, but obstacles, we'll work through them. Alright. Yep, so when you get desperate, you cut out the metal out of your junk washing machine before you get rid of it. Hey, gonna improvise, right? Trying to put no money into this thing, trying to build it as we got it. Alright, so we got the header pipe done. The hand truck handle that I cut. You guys seen how I did that? I just made some pie cuts to whatever angle I wanted to get. It's kind of goofy in here, but it was goofy going in. I had to get around this steering knuckle. So more than likely, I may leave it like that, or extend it out here and come out around the corner here. What do you guys think? Should I extend it or leave it right there? I believe it's gonna be a wide open header. We're gonna try it anyway, see how it goes. If not, I can always weld a cup on there and put one of them big fancy mufflers with a turnout, whatever. Another thing, I added some expanded steel to the grill. I think that looks pretty good. And I'm still working on lights. Used to be able to get headlights at Benny's, you know, for bicycles. I don't know where you get them anymore. Maybe online. Really don't want to buy anything for this. I have some of these floodlights right here. This is an LED one. But I'm thinking, what do you guys think? Putting a couple of these on here. Might look alright, right? I do have a couple tail lights for the back. Over here, there's that eye bolt I was talking about that I made that clutch spring adjustable right there. So I added that, just a piece of angle on, drilled it out, eye bolt. And check this out. I don't know how well you can see it, but that's the clearance right there. That's the clearance. Let me get you in closer. Hang on, we're gonna get you in closer. Alright, so right there is the clearance. As you can see, there's not a lot of clearance. So there's things laying on the ground. That's the pulley for the transmission right here. And I'll eventually swap that, put that up front, and put a small one back here. And this thing is going to rip. I got a plate to do here, and I'm actually going to start doing the Bondo on it. I'm going to start filling in some of these holes. I got the Bondo in there, I'm going to mix it up. I already started with the seam sealer, roll around the edges. I'm going to do some body filler here, bed liner in here. Going to paint this with bed liner. I haven't decided on what color. Actually, I got some Bondo to do here where I had took the fenders off, a little bit here, and obviously the grill. But yeah, like I said, I struggled all day trying to make some kind of hood, a half hood with louvers. Just wasn't gonna work out. I'm not Ian. Well, I'm almost like Ian. Ian's got me beat when it comes to that stuff. But I didn't have a whole lot of material here. Actually, a washing machine shit the bed. I even cut the front off of that to sheet metal to try to make things work, and it just wasn't happening. I even talked about lowering this, and I really seriously considered it, but then the steering wheel was going to be way down here, 3 inches lower, and it was going to be kind of uncomfortable for the seat. I don't know, we still may do that. I showed you guys I wanted to use this seat bracket because the seat's adjustable. There's the battery. But yeah, alright, so I was working on some sort of firewall here. I cut part of the hood off. And I was gonna weld that on there, kind of like that. Sorry it's on the ground, guys. And all that up, and it was gonna cover the fuel tank and whatnot. But you guys have spoken, Rich and Mr. or Mrs. Outdoor Hub. You guys have spoken. I was not going to cut the console, but I'm gonna take your guys' suggestion, and I'm gonna cut the console down a little bit. The main reason why I didn't want to cut it was the reach on the steering wheel. But if I gotta move the seat, I gotta move the seat. You guys have spoken, that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna tear this thing off, and we're gonna lower it. That's that. All right, so I gotta start tearing it apart. We'll get it off. My biggest concern was shortening this rod that controls the clutch. But what I think I'm gonna do, because it's threaded down on the bottom, I've been thinking about this all night. Take that off, and I'm gonna re-thread it. I'm gonna try it, instead of cutting it and welding it, I'm gonna try to thread it a little, however much I cut out of it. And I was a little bit concerned about cutting the steering rod, and because welding that back together to get it straight without making it wobble. But you guys have spoken. We'll figure it out. All right, let's get this console off.